Hello, it is me, Insomniac writer, and I'm here to review the Amityville Horror, the 1979 original version based off the book. I was going to do the one with Ryan Reynolds because, let's face it, hello, it's Ryan Reynolds, and he didn't have a shirt on for most of the movie. But I wanted to just keep it simple, keep it original. This is one of my fave movies, creeped me out as a kid. And I think it's a good pick for day 2. So here is the Amityville Horror.
It's the kind of house they don't build anymore. A relic of a time when the world wasn't in such a hurry, when there was still time for a little charm and elegance. It has stood empty for a long while, and at the price, it is a bargain. For a growing young family, it is almost too good to be true.
What do you think?
I love it.
James Brolin, Margot Kidder, Rod Steiger in the Amityville Horror.
God's peace in this house. Get out. Get out.
Hello?
Hello, Kathy. Father Delaney, there's something very important.
Mommy, I want to go home.
What do you want from us?
What's all going wrong? We have to do something.
I'm coming apart! Oh, Mother of God, I'm coming apart!
28 days after the Lutz family moved into their dream house, they were running for their lives. What happened to them is an experience in terror you will never forget, and you will believe in the Amityville Horror. From the best-selling book that made millions believe in the unbelievable, the Amityville Horror.
Hello all, it's me, Insomniac writer. I just finished watching the 1979 version of Amityville Horror. Originally, I was going to do the reboot that came out in 2000 something with Ryan Reynolds, and I think Dakota Fanning was in it. I can't remember the little girl, but anyway, I opted to do this movie because it's the original #1. I still liked it. I enjoyed it. I don't recommend watching this movie as late as I did because I was trying to stay awake. And it's not to say that the movie's completely boring, but if I had to recommend one or the other for today's generation, I would recommend, the newer one because it's gorier, got a bunch of whole jump scares that people are looking for. This is an ominous movie. This is one of those movies from back in the day where you're relying on the actors and the tension that they're building up. And it's like, oh my God. You see their reactions to stuff. Like, they'll gasp in horror when they see something horrifying. In some cases, you see what they see, and sometimes you don't. The main two characters are played by James Brolin, who was Josh Brolin's dad in real life, and Margot Kidder, who played Lois Lane in the original Superman movies, the 1980 and 70s Superman movies with Christopher Reeve. they do a great job of setting the premise of tension. And that's what this movie is all about. You can still say it's a horror movie, but it's not your typical slasher. You don't see blood flying all over the place. There are some scenes where you see blood, like the balls bleeding and all this other crazy mess. But it's not gory. Like the reboot, the remake, you see Ronnie DeFeo, who's the main villain, so to speak. He goes on his rampage and kills his family one night. And goes to a bar to stay on and chills like nothing is wrong. Like, how insane is that? Like, you just wake up one day and just say, I'm just going to kill my family. Now, and since then they've said, you know, different stories. You know, he had attitude, anger issues and blah, 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 blah. Who knows for sure if that's the case. What I do know is that the man is still alive and he's in jail and he's married. Yes, he has a wife who married him after all this shit happened. Can you imagine that? But anyway, the crazy thing about it is that he goes and kills his family, and then like shortly thereafter, this family moves in. Now, in this version, it starts out with them taking the body bags out of the house and the cops saying, oh my God, this is horrible, yada, yada, yada. In the remake, they start out with him going room to room, boom, 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 with a shotgun. I don't understand why anybody didn't hear that. You know, and what always struck me weird about this story is that I live in the hood. So if I hear gunshots, okay, somebody heard them, somebody called the cops, somebody did something. You can't tell me that in this quiet suburb near Long Island, New York somewhere, nobody else heard these shotguns. I understand that the houses aren't close together or row homes and stuff, but somebody had to hear something. But needless to say, like I said, the guy is in jail. As far as the family, you know, they move into the house, they get it dirt cheap, obviously, and you see them descend into madness. Now, in this version, you see Ronnie DeFeo killing his siblings and his parents, but they kind of web it into the beginning of the movie when the realtor is showing them each room and each area of the house. I think that was kind of a better take to do than just this crazy guy going around shooting people and then bam, here comes his family. Like I said, this is not the type of movie that have you jumping, even though there was one scene with this cat that made me, you know, and I think it was because it was loud, but it's not one of them type of movies where it's not like a Jason or a Freddy or something like that where it's a slasher. And it's not one of them ghost movies like you see today, like The Conjuring, which ironically was spawned from this movie and this storyline. And it's based off a book, The Amityville Horror, but you know, it's a book that was written a few years before then. And the only difference is I don't think that Ed and Lorraine, they're not I don't remember them being in the remake, but they definitely aren't in here as far as I can remember. They don't, and I think in the book they come and visit to check out the house and, you know, to kind of either exercise the ghost or do something or whatever, but they're not really emphasizing the movie. It's the family. This movie totally focuses on this family falling apart as a result of something in this house. Both stories do dwell on that, some backstory about it being a slaughterhouse with Indians and this guy going around killing all of the locals in that area of New York at the time, and it kind of being like a grave site or something. But either way, the shit is crazy, because my personal take, let me tell you, I get a house and they're like, guess what? This guy killed a bunch of people like a year ago. Like, really? Come on. Like, damn. Did y'all get the blood out the carpet yet before y'all decided to move up in this house? I understand. Like, it's just crazy. And then you got a priest come, bless the house, the flies all in his face, and then you hear the creepy voice saying, get out. And the only thing I hated about the fact, every time they tried to talk to the priest after the fact, he done lost his damn mind. They can't even talk to the guy. And he wants to help, but he's just going crazy too. And it's everybody that comes to visit the family and come past his house. It's like they don't want to come in, they don't want to stay, or something's wrong with them, and they feel the creepiness. But it takes this family 1 whole month to feel what everybody feels in 5 seconds. And there's no wonder that they left all their crap, clothes, everything, just got in the car and just kept it moving. And I totally understand. But honestly, the minute I would have seen blood coming out the walls, let some blood come out these walls right now. All I'm saying is that everybody better wake up, because if not, y'all better follow me running out this house. But anyway, again, like, this movie it's kind of a fave of mine. I'm not gonna lie, I like the remake a little bit better. That's because Ryan Reynolds has no shirt for most of it, a lot of it. I think that's the part that sticks out the most. But anyway, I like that version a little bit better, but it's still a good story to watch. It's still a good movie. You got to go in with an open mind. You got to realize, like I said, not a whole lot of jump scares, not a whole lot of gore, not a whole lot of typical horror shenanigans. This is one of those ominous, creepy, tension-building thrillers, and it revolves on the family and how they're reacting to it and how it's affecting them day to day. So I say check it out. This again was another movie that I streamed on Hulu. I don't know what's going on with Hulu, but they have a lot of good movies going on this month. Maybe because it's Halloween and they got some throwbacks, but I streamed it on there. If not, it's easy to find online. You could probably rent it online or find it in a DVD bin. I think I got this VHS somewhere, which reminds me of my VCR. Anyway, go check it out. And let me know in the comments what you thought. Another thing, I want to know, this is a question that I'm posing to you. What would you do if you were in a haunted house? Like, if you found out the house you were living in or just moved into is haunted, would you stay? Would you get Ghostbusters, Ghostfaces, whoever? Or would you get the fuck out of Dodge? Me personally, I would get the fuck out of Dodge. Or I wouldn't have been there in the first place. Like, I joke with my daughter, like, yeah, you want to move into this house? It's vacant now. The last people moved out. It's ready. It's cheap. You can live in Long Island area with hoodie tooties for a good price. No, not in real life. I wouldn't do it. And I don't think my kid would go for it either. That being said, I do think my house is kind of haunted, but not like this. I think it's something in my basement. It's a crawl space. I won't go near it. Never do. When I go in there to do laundry, I'm in, I'm out. I don't stick around. If I got to go down there and look for something, if I can't find it, oh well, it just ain't meant to be found. Because Rose don't do creepy stuff. So, again, Amityville Horror, 1979. Check it out. James Brolin, Margot Kidder. Some other familiar faces of people that are really old right now. But some facts you need to know. Based on some true events. Ronnie DeFeo, still in jail, thank God. Kills his family. Family moves in. And I'm not sure how many other families have really moved in. Like, I don't think I can find that listed online. If you do, let me know. I would like to know what happened with them. Some families have reported nothing being wrong with the house. Others did. But I wouldn't move in this house. I don't care if they changed the darn address on Google Maps or not. Rose ain't doing it. But thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and let me know what you think of the 1979 version of Amityville Horror. Do you like it better than the remakes and all the sequels and spin-offs? Or are you like, no, I don't like those old horror movies, they suck. Or it's not enough action for me. Let me know. And until tomorrow, see you later.